The tennis world has been turned upside down. In a sport often dominated by a familiar cast of superstars, a new force has emerged from the Philippines, and she is rewriting the history books at a breathtaking pace. This is not just a story about winning a tournament. It is a chronicle of a young woman who conquered the impossible. Against all odds, Alex Eala did what many thought was unthinkable. She entered the lion's den, defeated 4 champions, and catapulted herself into the WTA top 20. This is the story of how the 2026 Mubadala DC Open became the stage for a seismic shift in women's tennis. The journey to greatness in professional tennis is rarely a straight line. For Alexandra Eala, the 21-year-old Filipina sensation, the path to her maiden WTA Tour title was not just a test of her skill, but of her unyielding spirit. Arriving in Washington, D.C. as the world number 28, Eala was not among the top seeds, her name a whisper among the tournament giants. Yet, within her, a fire was burning. The draw was unforgiving, a veritable group of death that seemed to mock the ambition of any unseeded player. It was a field stacked with 4 champions, formidable opponents who had tasted victory on the biggest stages. Alex Eala was about to face the ultimate test. The gauntlet was thrown from the very first round. To even get a shot at the title, Eala had to navigate a minefield. In the round of 32, she was pitted against a woman who knew what it took to win the ultimate prize, Zheng Qinwen of China, the reigning Olympic and Asian Games champion. Zheng, a top 10 player, was on a mission to add a WTA title to her gold medal. For many, this would have been a formidable early exit. But Eala, with a composure that belied her age, dismantled the Olympic champion in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4. It was a statement of intent, a first crack in the foundation of the tournament's hierarchy. But the true test was only just beginning. She wasn't just playing a champion, she was about to face the defending champion. In the round of 16, the challenge intensified. Awaiting her was Leylah Fernandez, the Canadian star who had won the Washington Open the previous year. Fernandez, a Grand Slam finalist herself, was determined to defend her title. The match was a chess match, a battle of wits and willpower. Eala, however, was prepared. She had studied her opponent. She was confident in her game plan. In a masterful display, she brushed aside Fernandez with a commanding 6-2, 7-6-1 victory, sending the defending champion packing. The whispers were growing louder. This young Filipina wasn't just here to participate, she was here to conquer. Having dispatched an Olympic champion and a defending champion, Alex Eala had announced her arrival. Yet, the impossible run was just gathering momentum. The quarterfinals presented her next monumental task: Alina Svitolina of Ukraine, the world number 10 and a former world number 3. A veteran of the tour, renowned for her defensive prowess and mental fortitude, Svitolina was a wall that many aspiring players crashed against. But Eala, empowered by her early victories, played with a freedom and intelligence that left her opponent stunned. In a performance of near perfection, she defeated the second-seeded Svitolina in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4. This wasn't just a win, it was a dominance that signaled she was operating on a different level. The semi-final was a collision course with destiny. Her opponent, Naomi Osaka of Japan, the world number 13, was a name synonymous with modern tennis greatness. A 4-time Grand Slam champion and a former world number 1, Osaka was the icon Eala had likely watched and admired on television. Osaka's aura is immense, her power terrifying. For Eala, this was the ultimate test of her burgeoning belief. The world watched, expecting the fairy tale to end. But Alex Eala had other plans. In a breathtaking performance under the lights, she dominated the Japanese superstar, winning 6-4, 6-2. The victory was monumental. She had just defeated her 4th champion, showcasing a game that blended relentless aggression with a tactical sharpness far beyond her years. The impossible was becoming a reality. After a run of extraordinary victories, Alex Eala found herself in her first WTA 500 final. The objective was clear, but the opponent standing in her way was arguably the tournament's most formidable. Jessica Pegula of the United States was not only the top seed, but also the world number 3. A titan of the sport, Pegula was a 2-time champion in Washington and a symbol of American tennis excellence. For Eala, this was the final mountain to climb, the ultimate test of her historic run. The final began with a ferocious intensity. Pegula drew first blood, taking the first set 6-4. The momentum seemed to be with the world number 3. But then, fate intervened. And the second set, as Eala was leading 2-1, stormy weather descended upon Washington, forcing a postponement of the match. For a young player on the cusp of history, this rain delay could have been a psychological disaster. The stage was massive, and the pressure was immense. But Alex Eala was not a typical young player. When she returned to the court the next day, she was a woman transformed. She picked up right where she left off, holding her serve with authority. Then, she began to dismantle Pegula's game, breaking her serve to take the second set 6-4 and force a decider. The momentum had shifted decisively. The third set was where champions are defined, and Alex Eala defined herself in the most dominant way possible. She produced a masterclass in pressure tennis, completely overwhelming the world number 3. Her ground strokes were laser-focused, her movement impeccable. The top seed, Jessica Pegula, looked helpless against the wave of Filipina power and precision. Eala broke Pegula's serve in the second and fourth games and stormed through the final set without dropping a single game, a bagel, 6-0. It was a stunning conclusion to a stunning tournament. The impossible had been achieved. A Filipina had won a WTA 500 title for the first time in history. When the final point was won, a new superstar was born. Alex Eala didn't just win a tennis match, she made history. She became the first player from the Philippines to win a WTA Tour-level title and the first Southeast Asian to win a WTA 500 event. The Washington Open final was a coronation. Her victory was a triumph over 4 champions: Olympic champion Zheng Qinwen, defending champion Leylah Fernandez, Grand Slam champion Alina Svitolina, and the iconic Naomi Osaka. The 500 ranking points earned from this legendary run catapulted her 8 spots up the rankings from number 28 to a career-high number 20 in the world. "Standing here in the middle of all this love," she said after the match, "I knew whatever happened after this match would have already been a win for me." The impossible wasn't just done, it was done in spectacular, history-making fashion.